Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. And today's video is a make or break race for us. We are now reached the playoffs in season number 1, which is in and of itself a fantastic accomplishment. And we got there, of course, by virtue of our victory at Eldora on the dirt track. So we're happy to be in the playoffs. That's going to guarantee us a top 10 finishing position in the points for the season, regardless of how the playoffs go. So let's take a quick look. And the reason I say this is make or break. So here we are race 19. This is the third and final race of the round of 10. Now we started off, let's go back a couple of races to WWT or Gateway, as most of you probably know it. And we see here we finished 14th, which I thought was a very good result given where we are in the development of our truck. And I also mentioned that the next race, which was road course in Canada, I was going to simulate it because I simply do not like the road courses in the NASCAR Heat Series. The feel of the car is just horrible for me. I'm certainly going to work on it some more for the possibility of doing a setup video for Heat 5 for the road courses. But as of right now, I just don't find anything that I like, and it's not an enjoyable experience, so I generally avoid it as much as possible. So race number 18 was north of the border. We came home 25th. That certainly did not do us any favors as far as the playoff standings. So if we come back over and take a look at where we are, we're sitting in ninth. So not at the very bottom. Mr. Fogelman is at the very bottom, and he's basically in a must-win situation. And we're not far from it. If you take a look at the points, we're 15 behind Rhodes and 17 behind Zane Smith. So we really need a victory. Now, is that possible? Who knows? We'll have to wait till we get to the track and see what kind of speed we've got. But 15 points is a lot to make up in one race. Essentially, what we need if we don't get a victory is we need to finish top 10, and we need to have them finish at the very back of the field due to some sort of wreck or engine failure, that kind of a result. Those are really our two options. So it's not looking very good. But let's say that Bristol doesn't go good enough for us. We don't make it into the next round, which would be the round of 8. Then I'm simply going to focus entirely for the remainder of the season on next year. I'm going to focus on next season. We already know that next season is looking very good for us because if we take a look at our work plan, and our department maximums, we're at 95 on engine, 85 aero, and 90 on suspension. Those are some great improvements we've made over our very first season. So I'm happy with that, which means that we don't have a ton of improvements left for season 2 that we need to make. And we've already found out that we're going to have an Xfinity ride next year. Now, it's not one that I'm going to be doing videos on because it's a 3-star team and not something I'm terribly interested in long term, but it's going to give us a nice amount of money race after race, and we're going to use that to improve our truck until we get our truck to maybe not completely maxed out at 100 on each of the 3 departments, but very close to it. And then we're going to focus on saving as much money for the season 3, which will be our first season, hopefully, in Xfinity, as long as things go fairly well. So that's what I've got going through my head right now. I am focused. We know what's coming up and waiting for us at Bristol. If you haven't checked the channel lately before today, then I just recently released a setup video for Bristol. So if you're having any questions about, I wonder what kind of setup he's going to use, now you know. I'm going to use that setup with probably a few adjustments based on the fact that our car or truck isn't quite maxed out, but what you see is what you get on that setup. That's what I'm going to be using. And now, I can't wait any longer. I've got to get to the track, and let's see how this race goes. Qualifying now in the books, and we come home 11th. I'm actually pretty pleased with that lap. I didn't end up making any changes whatsoever to the setup. I went out, ran 2, 3, maybe 4 laps of practice, and saw that the truck was doing exactly what I wanted it to do, meaning that it's pretty snug. It's going to be tight, particularly at the beginning of a run. Should loosen up as time goes on, but at the beginning it's going to be tight, which is good because we're going to be in heavy traffic during this race. If you haven't ran a race against the AI at Bristol, then boy, are you in for a treat. If you're just sitting back watching it, it should be pretty exciting. I'm going to have to make some daring moves if we're going to move through traffic because the AI are all over the place. And they tend to form trains. And what I mean by that is you'll have cars lined up nose to tail 5, 6, 7 deep at times, and sometimes they'll be just like that, but only 2 wide. So it's going to be extremely hard to pass, even if it's single file. Now you add that up to when they start forming trains, they get 2 by 2, and it is going to get exciting. I have no doubt that we're not going to get a smooth driving bonus at this track. There's going to be contact. There's just no way around it. It's Bristol, it's the AI. That's just the way it's going to be. But a couple of other things I want to point out before we get to the race itself, and that is, while I'm very happy with 11th position, look one spot ahead of us on the grid, Zane Smith. Look up in 4th position, Ben Rhodes. That's not where we needed these guys to be. I was really hoping that they would be at the back of the field and struggling to try to move their way forward. But yeah, they're ahead of us. So I'm happy with the way the truck is feeling, given everything that we've got going on. But we've got our work cut out for us. I've got my eyes on number 1 position, and if we can't get there, then we're going to give it everything we've got to get into the top 10, and then we're going to focus on the top 5, and so on. But it's going to be a long race, but it's going to be a quick race, which sounds a little bit weird to say, but it's going to be a lot of laps, but laps at Bristol go by very quickly. So now, nothing left to do but get going. All right, stories of the race. Natalie Decker is happy with you. She wants to partner up and draft. Oh, that is not what I need to see. Because drafting at Bristol means a lot of, wow, that's bump and run. And so we don't need her to get on our rear bumper. Of course, right now she's ahead of us. But we definitely don't want her on our rear bumper causing trouble.
Outside.
All right, I did end up making just one small change to the setup for the race, just to add a little bit of RPM. I went up 1 click on the final drive, trying to get up as close as I can, really, to that, to our max RPM, to the rev limiter. So right here at the beginning of the race, I'm just going to see how things work out. We got 13 laps here in stage number 1. No need to get excited. As much as I would like to get points here in stage number 1, I'm not going to try to do anything crazy. If opportunities are there where I can make a pass on somebody, then I certainly want to do that. But no beating and banging right now, at least not by choice anyway.
All right, clear outside.
All right, so we made the pass.
Hold your line, got 1 outside.
Now, of course, we're right behind Zane Smith. And I believe we were, what, 17 points behind him in the playoffs, so that's going to be a lot of positions between me and him.
That was a better lap.
All right, spotter telling me about lap times. I don't particularly care about that.
Car high, careful there.
I'll get every bit of feedback I need right now from whether I'm passing guys or they're passing me. That'll tell me how our speed is relative to the other trucks, but so far so good.
Car there on the inside. All right, you're clear. Car there on the inside. All right, you're clear there.
All right, you can see the AI are very aggressive on corner entry. They will try to take, if there's half a truck width there, they will try to take it. And they will just try to move me out of the way. Again, just trying to be very patient on the throttle, trying to not abuse the tires. There's really no point in it right now. Let the car move up just a little bit in the center of the corner.
5 laps to go. Hold your line.
That might come back to haunt me. You can see these guys in the mirror that really want to make a move on me, but I'm not quite giving them enough room to do so right now. As time goes on, they'll get more and more aggressive with those opportunities. So it looks like we're in 9th. We are slowly catching some of the guys in front of us, but not quickly. So that tells me that our opportunity to win the race is probably not going to be there without some serious issues, accidents, and so on. We just don't quite have the speed that we need for that. So goal number one right now is just maximize what we have.
Left. Stay calm.
And right now what we have is a great thing. It's open track. We have a little bit of room in front of us. We have not a whole lot of room behind us, but right now they're being pretty kind. They're not beating and banging on my bumper too much.
Inside, inside.
You can see I'm diamonding the corner a little bit. Diamonding the corner, there you go. Ninth place finish. We got a couple of points there. But diamonding the corner allows the car to just rotate more naturally rather than me trying to hold it down to the very bottom all the way around. So 37 laps remaining. We got plenty of fuel. Tires shouldn't be an issue. Overall, of course, there's no reason to pit here. So we're going to bypass that and advance on. But 37 laps remaining. Okay, that's something to keep in mind.
Starter has the green flag in his hand. Are you ready now?
All right, not a bad start.
10 to go.
All right, there's Decker immediately in front of us.
Still there.
Trying to stay to the inside of Gilliland. Wasn't able to do it. All right, he's going to give us a little room on corner entry. Oh, got a little too tight there in the center. I pressed my luck
Car outside.
in the center of the corner, gassed it up a little bit to see if it would stick, and it did not. But right now, this is the perfect setup for this type of a race. Yes, I could loosen it up.
All right, clear low.
I could loosen it up some and get more speed out of it, but I'm looking long term here. It's a very stable setup, and it is serving its purpose. It's allowing me to run the bottom, and I can adjust my driving style to run different lines and, you know, stay below people or inside, outside.
Got one down low now.
Oh, hello. There we go. That was a nice hello from somebody from behind us. I don't know exactly who that was, but he got into our left rear on corner entry. Like I said, they're going to be extremely aggressive with us on corner entry. That's just a trait of NASCAR Heat games. Again, trying to give a little bit of room on the outside, but sometimes you just have to use them up on the outside and move them up the track a little bit, break their momentum, and try to make that pass.
You're all clear up top there.
All right, there we go. So we make the pass on Decker, using very little brake on corner entry.
Still there inside.
Oh, there we go. He got us again. I think that's Austin Hill. But yeah, he sees that as me leaving the door open, even though what it really is just a normal corner entry. But I may have to adjust that as time goes on, just to keep him, because one of those times he's going to hit me and it's going to send us up the track. And if they're lined up behind us on the bottom, then we might lose a lot of positions. But so far, so good. I'm glancing up in front of us. Of course, we got two trucks immediately in front of us. But then in front of that, everything looks fairly orderly. It's starting to train a little bit at the front, but not severe. Nothing severe right now. If we get into lap traffic, which is going to happen probably in the final stage, we're coming up on the end of stage number 2 here. Let's see if we can get by Matt Crafton here. Nope, he's going to come down and block that. Good move for him. All right, so we'll come home in stage number 2 in 7th. All right, I will definitely take that. So I don't think Zane Smith got any points there. I think he's fallen back far enough that he's out of the points. So we're making up a few points here and there. We just need him to continue falling back and us to continue going forward. Now, again, tires look fine. It's a travesty of justice that the right rear is 2 percentage points lower than the right front because this truck is anything but loose right now. But that's the way the game is programmed. We'll go with it. So 24 laps remaining, and we are definitely not going to pit. All right, so let's be on the gas hard whenever we get control.
drive safe, be smart, keep your head on straight. Ready? Got one up top.
So I believe we've made up a total of 4 points through the first couple of stages on Zane Smith, but of course he had a huge lead on us. So that is not enough. So it's all down to this final stage. All right, so very tight through the center there, trying to hold it down.
We got 20 more laps. Careful, still there.
All right, there we go.
You're clear.
I don't entirely trust the spotter. They tell me a lot of stuff that I just soon them not tell me, and they don't tell me the stuff I really wish they would.
Inside. All right, you're clear.
Like right there, he told me inside. They were not to my inside. They wanted to be, but they were not. All right, so we've now moved up to 5th. So again, we keep on the plan. Hug this bottom and try to make as many passes as we can. It's always nice when you can see the leader up there.
Got a car low now. All right, you're clear there.
All right, that truck behind us, who I think is Sauter, I think. That's at a quick glance, so I definitely don't have a lot of confidence in that. It doesn't really matter a whole lot.
Got one peeking inside.
Oh, hello. Okay, yep, that's how you make passes at Bristol. He just ran us out of the way.
Stay high, stay high.
So I'm going to fight for this a little bit. If it goes on too long,
Careful,
I really don't want to stay up in this high groove too terribly long because it's harder on my tires. So I'll give it a few laps here.
Still there.
All right, there we go. We might have an opportunity to get by Crafton here, so let's go back to the bottom.
Still there. Careful, still there.
And something tells me that after the race, Johnny Sauter's going to be like, why did you get into me? Why did you cause damage to my
Still
truck?
there.
Even though he was the one that ran us out of the way.
Stay low.
You got to love the AI in this game. All right, so Crafton is making this incredibly difficult on us. I'm trying to gas it up in the center of the corner and clear him if I can. Oh, no, don't do that. Or not Crafton, that's Infinger, my bad. Looks just like Crafton's truck if you're not looking at the numbers. All right, so not exactly what we were hoping for there. Just not enough juice to get by him. And looks like, at least I think that was Sauter. Looks like he has taken off. So he definitely had plenty of speed.
Last 10 laps, you gotta focus.
All right, only 10 laps left. I could run all day long at Bristol and just have a blast at it. And as long as the AI are pretty orderly, you know, we've had fairly minimal contact. So as long as they race like that, I can just do this all day long.
Stay on the bottom.
All right, I'm trying to get out of the gas early on entry, get back to it quicker on exit. Yeah, we just don't have quite enough. Let's drive it in a little deeper this time. Trying to keep off of him on exit rather than trying to use him up a little bit.
Stay low.
All right. Oh, I thought we had him that time.
Inside. Clear low there.
Oh, he got into me there. Leave us alone just for another second or two.
All clear.
There we
Got
go.
one outside now. You're all clear up top.
All right, so now we have to try to hold 5th position. These guys behind us, I can see, they've got speed. Oh, and there's the train in front of us. I was so busy looking at what was behind us for the last few laps and beside us that I didn't notice, but there it is, right in front of us. So this is our opportunity to steal some positions or lose a lot of positions if we choose the wrong way. All right, so let's try to figure out where the lead lap cars are and try to do the opposite. I may take this 3 wide on the high side if I need to. All right, there you can see. Oh, that's Rhodes. All right, we definitely need to be in front of him. All right, there's really nowhere to go here.
Careful.
For him or us. All right, so right now I'm looking around for opportunities. And the only opportunity I see is 3 wide on the high side. Which, just as I say that, I get a little tickle in my stomach because that excites me quite a bit.
Still there.
Doing that because, to me, I mean, if you got to do that, then you got to do it. All right, I'm trying to keep him pushed up the track, hoping that I can, yeah, there we go, get inside of the lap truck.
Top 3, use it if you need it.
All right, we got a great run off the corner. Can I get to the inside of Sauter? And no, not quite. So we'll come home 4th. Not bad. I feel like if we had a few more laps there, maybe like 10 more laps, we could have made up some serious positions and gotten up around 1st or 2nd possibly as we were working our way through traffic. But it just wasn't to be. Again, I could run Bristol. I could run laps around Bristol all day long and love every second of it. So I hated to see that race end. But hey, 4th position. You can't really argue about 4th position in a race like that. We are looking in great shape. Now, here's the real question. 4th position is great, but where did our competitors? Where was Zane Smith in the race? And then what about Rhodes? Now, we have a pretty good idea about Rhodes because we passed him toward the end of the race. So we got a pretty good idea without a major wreck of where he ended up. But now it's time to find out. So Rhodes, all right, so 6th position. That makes sense. All right, ooh, also Ben Rhodes looks like he won a stage. Now, that's definitely not good for us. Where is Zane Smith is 18th. I don't think that's enough for us, but boy, is that going to make it close. He did not win a stage, and I don't believe he got any stage points. All right, so continue on. Okay, let's talk about race earnings. $41,600, very nice. Sponsor payout, merch payout. Hey, we're going up. You guys are hopping by the tent, and you're buying some hats, you're buying some t-shirts. I mean, we got to find some more stuff for you guys to buy at the merch tent. So $56, that will continue to grow. Specifically next year, once we get up into the Xfinity series, it'll really start to grow. But a total $46,489 for today's race. We'll take it. That's going to give us an opportunity to do some more improvements to the truck down the line. All right, so now let's go to playoff standings. And okay, wow. Oh, that's not even close. Well, I'm definitely missing something there because we were a full 12 points behind. Given his finishing position and the fact that I don't think he got any stage points, and if he did, he only got like 1. And then we got some. Okay, regardless, it doesn't matter. We're out of the playoffs. So I really thought we were going to be within a few points and might actually beat Zane Smith, but it was not to be. So that's really going to do it for this season as far as any performance or any videos I'm looking to do for the further races. At this point, I'm going to focus on what's ahead of us, and that is next season. But regardless, finishing in the top 10 in points in our very first season in the series, that is a huge thumbs up, and very happy to have that under the belt. So now, as we finish things up, 16.4 is the fastest lap. Have no idea where we were in as far as fastest laps. That was the last thing in the world I was confused about. So most laps led was Ben Rhodes. So he led a lot today, and we know he got a stage victory. All right, Todd Gilliland, yeah, he didn't have such a happy time. But overall, yeah, I am thrilled. Anytime I get to run a race at Bristol, it's a good day. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again next time for more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5.